Hi all folks, doing a little burner R&D here. I've been playing with it since the Rust Junkie Fest. For those following along, I tried an experimental tip and the nozzle was directing fuel at a single spot in the hot face of my foundry and actually created a cool spot and ended up flooding the furnace. That happened a couple times. And in the end, I ended up doing an oil propane burn to get the aluminum to melt. I just had too much oil in my furnace. I couldn't get it hot enough until I had the propane to get the extra heat. But anyway, so I decided to move on from what I was doing. I made a couple changes. When I went away from the jet and I went back to just an open pipe, it's a 5/16 copper line. I lost my spin vane and turbulator. The whole point is to try to rotate the air and break up your fuel so it's easier to burn. It needs to atomize before it burns, so spinning the air helps break up the fuel. Now, although this let a great volume of air pass, it really didn't do much for turbulating the air. So, and this is why it's still see all that scale from getting hot. So anyways, I lost that. Shame, put a lot of time into that. But anyways, I also lost this. This was an experiment to get rid of the pulsing action of my pump. I was trying to use it like a water hammer suppressor. That failed. So on to bigger and better things. I was going to attempt to make a centrifugal pump, and I got tired of wasting time. And you could buy one from Princess Auto for about $10, so that's what I did. So here's my pump. I did end up making the mount for it. That's just a piece of nylon threaded rod. That cap actually I fabricated it. That screws into my fuel tank. It's threaded for 2-inch MPT, but I used a straight thread. I just matched the pitch, and I made up the seal there. So anyways, threaded rod holds that. That's measured, so it's about a half-inch side from the bottom of my fuel tank, and comes up through 3/8 polyline, goes through 3/8 90, and now this is obviously going to be sitting in the tank, fuel tank, which is going to be on the dolly, and then I'll have a fairly long line over to my foundry. In this case, I'm just doing a little test, so this comes up here. Here's my burner. Now, modifications to the burner. I cut the taper off. There used to be a little bit of a taper here. That was to generate a venturi to help pull the fuel down the fuel line. Back when it was a gravity feed, or I wasn't too sure what was going to play out. I thought, well, hey, it's easy enough to add the taper, so I did. It is now gone. It was just a pain. It wasn't doing me any good, and it was just making experimentation difficult. So I've lost that. What I've added, hopefully I don't know what kind of light I've got here. There you can see. This is a different type of spin vane turbulator. This is a 1/8 thick piece of stainless sheet, and I made a circle out of it. Drilled some holes, cut a couple slats, and then I turned them. I've got a couple pictures I'll add to the post, so you can see what that looks better. And then I've got a 5/16 hole just for my copper line, and that's the way it sits. No fuss, no muss. A lot of guys use these. It's the standard. This is the standard turbulator these home guys use. Typically, they don't use a 1/8 sheet. It's considerably smaller. It's down to the gauges. I don't understand the gauges, but anyway, experimented this, and I've got it turned quite a lot for sake of getting this. Really chokes off my my blower, so I may remake this out of something thinner just to get some more air going. The bouncy cancel air pump moves a lot of air, but it doesn't have a lot of static pressure, so it fights to get over this. But anyway, so what happens is fuel dribbles out of here, and then the air picks it up and shoots it out. So my centrifugal, my water pump here, it's a bilge pump. The bilge pump is rated for like 170 to 200 gallons per hour, which is bogus. And I'm shooting water right now, which is nowhere near the viscosity of oil. But it's just a proof of concept, to be honest with you. I'm not going to spray oil all over the floor. I'm trying to get it down to that drain. Got to be a little environmentally friendly. So I'm going to fire all this up, and what we're going for is random droplets. My undoing at the Rust Junkie Fest was a stream, direct stream, and what we're going for is no stream, randomization. We're not getting atomization. That's a whole other ball of wax. But there's my blower. I've got the butterfly valve cracked right open. I'm just going to reset this. Hopefully it doesn't get too loud. So my blower's full bore. Let's make sure my needle valve's turned off. Yep. So there's some okay air coming out of here. I wouldn't put it much beyond maybe a hair dryer, which is kind of disappointing. That's why I want to look at doing something different with that spin vane. So anyways, I'm going to turn on the pump. It draws 12 volts at about 1.5 amps, full power. She's turning, and we'll get a bit of a leak here. There's no tape on that, it was roughed in. So again, what we're looking for is atomization. So I'm going to crack the quarter turn. Let's see what we get here. There we go. That doesn't look pretty, but that's a heck of a lot better than what I had before. You see the mist? I got air in my line. Hold on, wait for that air to go away. There it's gone. The air is gone. So I probably can't see it, but there's a pretty decent mist going on here. So that's exciting. Random. Now that's water. Let me just back that off a little bit. So now I'm 1/8 of a turn. Now I'll probably move that forward. I'll put it right at the end. I'll try that as well. So that's actually quite exciting. Let me just turn it up a little bit here. Yeah, that's fine. Let's see that. Yeah, that's a bit much. Let's crank it and see what happens. There's full out. Even that was better than what I was getting at the rest junkie test because it's random. I wasn't getting random. Let's see how close I can get there. Get my camera there. It's kind of neat.